₹50 करोड़
Yes, a very good morning to all of you. So today, once again, I, Lakshay Kumar, Placement Officer of Shri Sai Group of Institutes, welcome you here in the webinar series being organized by Shri Sai Group of Institutes, Pathankot. We are really very happy to share with you all that SSGI is using this platform to share the valuable information, valuable knowledge for everyone through this webinar series from last 6th of June. So during this pandemic COVID-19 situation, everyone is, I can say, everyone is watching and viewing or listening the webinar series being hosted by great personalities being connected with SSDI Pathankot. So I am really very thankful to all. And if I talk about today's session, we were basically waiting for this session from last so many days. But today the day has come when I can say the picture is in front of us. What picture? What topic? The topic is minding your minds with meme. So without any delay, on behalf of management of Shri Sai Group of Institutes, especially our respected chairman, Sir Engineer S.K. Punj, Worthy Managing Director, Shrimati Tripta Punj, our Chief Managing Director, Engineer Kanwar Tushar Punj, our Director General, Professor Swatantra Kumarji, our Director of the webinar series, Dr. Vipin Gupta Sir. I take this privilege, and yes, of course, I do not have to forget this, on behalf of the students and staff of SSGI, I take this privilege to welcome the very renowned personality of the management line. I can say a man, a person who do not need any kind of introduction, none other than Professor Dr. Vinod Kumar Singh. So sir is here with us today for the live webinar session being organized by Shri Sai Group of Institutes. He is a very renowned personality of the management line, I can say. And he is going to talk on stress management. As you know, the topic is minding our minds with meme. It all is related to the stress management, which is the need of the time. So, with the very, very famous saying of Mr. William James, I just want to say that the greatest weapon against stress, is our ability to choose one thought over another. Now it is my responsibility, it is my duty to introduce, because it's required for many of the viewers and listeners. Because today we have almost 400 plus registrations for this session. So you can understand the importance of this session. So let me tell you about Dr. V.K. Singh sir. His full name is Professor Dr. Vinod Kumar Singh. He is presently working in 118 years old Vishwavidyalaya University of the world, that is Gurukul Kangri Vishwavidyalaya Haridwar. Sir is Dean and Head of Faculty of Management Studies in Gurukul Kangri University. If I talk about his teaching areas is marketing, advertising management, marketing of services, marketing research, and even management. And if I talk about his experience, sir started his career journey with Indian Air Force. Then he joined in academics 23 years back. So total experience of 30 plus years, a personality like this is with us today in this webinar series. If I talk about PhD research scholar supervision, he supervised 22 PhD degrees has already been awarded under his supervision, and 6 are under his supervision right now. Conferences, workshops, if I talk about conferences and workshops organized by Dr. V.K. Singh sir, it is all about 29. He has published 61 research published papers, and he is a visiting faculty for SCAS Oman, UCT South Africa, UOAS Slovakia, CU Egypt, Doon University Dehradun, IIT Roorkee, Al Hussein University Abu Dhabi, Himgiri Z University Dehradun. Sir has he has wrote 15 books. He has attended 74 workshops. He is a member of almost 5 professional bodies. He is handling the ICSSR UGC projects. He is a corporate trainer for very famous BHEL, that is BHEL. IFCO, TCS officers, police, Mindex, IIMM, Hero, Sidcul. And this is all about Dr. V.K. Singh. Because the time is very short, there is a lot more to say about sir, but I do not want to make this session delay, because I know many of you are very well aware of Dr. V.K. Singh sir. He will be today speaking on stress management in pandemic COVID-19 and how students have to deal with present scenario, preparing examination, and peeping to placement as well. Sir is going to tell you about the right form, initial thought of igniting that can move to calm positioning without hindering anyone, including your own sense of pride, creativity, and passion. So once again, I'm introducing and inviting the today's speaker, the management guru of management line, I can say, none other than Professor Dr. V.K. Singh from Gurukul Kangri Vishwavidyalaya. Doctor, sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sulesh. First of all, from Gurukul Kangri University, I extend a warm and heartiest extension to SSGI, Pathankot, who were very kind enough to put me to their panel on the soft board for today's webinar. Sulesh, can you tell me how much time is for this so that I can fix accordingly?
Sir, it is up to you, sir. It is up to you. You can take your time, and it is almost 45, 40
Okay,
to
thank you.
45 minutes.
So right now it is 11:18. So I'll go for 12 o'clock.
Right, sir. Right.
Thank you. So today, dear friends and colleagues and would-be managers and the professionals and ever all the people, those who are behind the SSGI, the stakeholders and the proprietors. Well, if you look onto today's topic, I've chosen as minding your minds with meme. First of all, it's very clear that what actually we mean about, because there are 5 words which gives a very core extension of my topic. Now, anyone can think it of that when we are talking of stress management, or when we are talking of, vis-a-vis to pandemic COVID-19, then what makes to go for selecting minding your minds with meme? Well, meme is, first of all, let us be very clear about what is meme. Meme is an idea. And when you look onto a dictionary meaning of meme, it is an element of culture or a system of behavior that is passed from one individual to another by imitating, or you can say in other word, by non-genetic means. When I say minding your minds, it means I am more focused to my own generosity. I am more focused to my clarity. I am more focused to my judgmental degradations. I am more focused to my procrastination. I'm more focused to my stress. I'm more focused to the extension of stress. Well, the concept of stress remained prominent in public health and owes much to the work of Heinz Seily, in 1907 to 1982, who is also to be known as a father of stress. Now, let us be very clear about, when I'm using the word meme, it means those ideas that we are generating as a student, those ideas that we are generating as a faculty members, those ideas that we are generating as a director general of institute, those ideas that we are generating as stakeholders of an institute, those ideas that we are generating as a proprietor of the school. Any single idea can click to a blast of positivity. And that is what, in 1907, Heinz Seily recognized this, who is also designated to be a father of stress. He was an endocrinologist, and he used the term stress after completing his medical training at the University of Montreal in 1919 and 20 in between. He noticed that no matter what his hospitalized patients suffered from, they all had one thing in common, and they looked sick. In this view, they all were under physical stress. Well, the another word which we should relate with meme is a physical stress. He proposed that stress was a non-specific strain on the body caused by irregularities in normal body functions. Remember this, number one. Number two, he also called the general adaptation syndrome, what we use the word GAS, which is more likely to fix upon to a closer look to general adaptation syndrome, our body short-term and long-term reactions to the stress. Well, if you coldly diagnose the reality, you'll find that there are 2 things which create texting of demand. If in a very general word, in a very layman word, when someone defines, what do you mean by stress? So then, what is the best way to give it meaning is that stress is a simple, the body's response to change that create texting demand. It means basically we rely on 2 different modes of functionalities. One is called eustress, where E is silent here. The spelling says is EUSTRESS. S-T-R-E-S-S, stress. Eustress. And the second word is called distress. So both has a opposite meaning. Stress means the positive stress, and distress means the negative stress. Now, when I'm using the word mean, and when I'm using specifically, I'm pinpointing to the students, it means I'm more concerned to the distress, or what I'm saying is negative stress as compared to the positive stress. But remember one thing, when we talk of eustress, which is a positive stress, that also creates some sort of hormones, create some sort of bubbles to your mind, but that bubbles is not hindering our own sense of achievements as compared to distress, which is called a negative stress. They do create a hindrance to our mean. Well, normally, if you look on, stress is being used in a very negative sense, or else what I'm using is the distress, D-I-S-T-R-E-S-S, distress. I can tell you a very small story, and the story talks with a Sabir Bhatia, who happens to be an originator of Hotmail. He submitted his assignment to his teacher, The teacher thrown the paper on his face, saying this, what the hell you've done this? What is something new in this? It is totally zero. He came home and started browsing the pages of this assignment. And then his main talks of negativity from his teacher, whereas his main from his inner consciousness pleaded for the positive stress. What is say is a eustress. There is a quote which reflects, he who treats means who keeps his steps, jo kadam rakhta hai. He who treats safely goes far. And that's what Sabir Bhatia did. And he made a history when he just sold his only 2 floppies. If you remember, at that particular time, it was 1.44 used to be. He just sold his entire mail to the company that has purchased at that particular time, which was not less than 6 CR. Well, when you talk of the general adaptation syndrome, which was being phrased by Haynes Saley, he talks of 3 different modalities. The very first extension is talks of alarm reaction. It means this is an immediate reaction to a stressor. But here, I'm talking more about the students. In the initial phase of the stress, humans exhibits a fight or flight. It means either you pump with your problem or you move with your problem. This stage takes energy away from other system, which is called immune system, which increases our vulnerability to illness. It means I'm inviting all the ill causes to my body to make a set of space so that they can create a set of space and I can easily evacuate myself with my inner thinking, stating to go for alarm reaction. Number 2 is of resistance. Resistance means where the body begins getting used to being stressed. It means I'm adopting not for your health, but I'm adopting for the energy or concentration on the stress reaction. Number 2. Number 3, you see, in 1907, almost you can say 120 years before, a person who imagines, who create a mean of exhaustion, how you can exhaustion yourself. You can create an exhaustion. And when you create an exhaustion, it means on the final stage of long-term exposure, the body resistance to stress is gradually reduced and collapse as an immune system becomes ineffective. In Seal's view, patients who are experienced long-term stress could succumb to heart attacks or severe infections due to their reduced resistance to illness. Now, when you look onto the face talks of the clarity, the face talks of the movement, the face talks of the happenings or situations that very clearly indicate or affects. A physician named John Mason, he conducted an experiment in which he took two groups of monkey and they all were deprived of food for a short period. I'll repeat, two groups. One was a control group and one were uncontrolled groups. The first group, control group, monkey were along, while in the group 2, monkey watched others received food. Even though both groups of monkey were under the physical stress of hunger, those that saw other eats had higher stress hormones levels as compared to the physical stress, and in that was powerful as physical stress had induced the body's stress response among the monkey. Many argued that if stress was not a non-specific phenomenon, then everyone should react the same way to the same stress. However, this did not seem right. Many were also convinced that there had to be common elements that would evaluate everyone's stress hormone level. It means I'm more fixed to a situation where we need to coping with the problem and regaining your balance. It also means that you need to understand the life's most common source of stress include stress at work, which you can look on the slide. I say use IT, use it or lose it. It means while some workplace stress is normal, excessive stress can interface with your productivity and performance, affect your physical and emotional health, and affect your relationship, including your home life activity. Students, my dear colleagues, my dear stakeholders, one thing to remain every time is whatever your ambitions or work demand, there are steps you can take to protect yourself from damaging effects of stress. Improve your job satisfaction and bolster your well-being in your own workplace. Number 2, you can look on the slide, is we're talking of job loss or unemployment stress. Not many students are in a very deprived position to give a conclusion that what next after COVID-19? Will I be getting job? But one thing is very clear, that everything when it comes with some positivity indications. And what is positivity indications here? The positivity indications talks about 85 crore liters of petrol is being used in a 1 year by Indian population of 137 crore people. I'll repeat, 85 crore liter. And I was just looking to it that one of the friend, he says, what happens when petrol gets vanished off? So this is something I'm talking of my loss, because that friend was working with the petroleum product. That friend was working with the shell industry. So there should not be an indicator to understand the unemployment stress. If you look onto a sense of belongingness, if you can look onto a sense of positivity, if you look onto a sense of indicators, ease of doing business must be shifted to please of doing business. I'll repeat. Please of doing business, it means I'm offering every people to come and start your own profile. The reason being is today we are into virtual realities. I will fail if I not give example of the CEO of one company who talks of coffee table concept what he says is virtual coffee table concepts. And this concept was given by Philips, by a CEO whose name is Franz van Houten. And you know what he did? Just to have this job loss and unemployment issues, and just to have fractions of unlimitations with your employee, he talked virtually with him, stating this: come on, you have your own coffee, I will have my own coffee, we can discuss with each other, but the purpose is that please, you're not going to lose your job. We are here, we are going to help you out of here. But the indication of this is that when the stress can seem overwhelming, there are many steps that can be taken to come out of this difficult period stronger, more resilient, and with renewed sense of purposes. The third thing we talk about is financial stress. And financial stress more talks about the over the world and from all the walks of life have to deal with the financial stress and uncertainty in the difficult time. Whenever your problems stream from a loss of work, escalating debt, unexpected or combination of factors, financial worry is one of the most common stressor in the modern life. It really gives and causes a creativity. The fourth point you can look on is a caregiving stress. And caregiver stress is something like the biggest room in the world is the biggest room of improvement. It means I have to start with myself. I need to care myself first, then I can care other people. Grief and loss, it is something like I'm talking of analytical versus synthetic thinking. It means analytic thinking and synthetic thinking. When you say grief and loss, it means I'm talking out what is outside within inside and what is inside within outside thinking. It means my outside thinking vis-a-vis to inside thinking, and my inside thinking vis-a-vis to out thinking is going to reflect, as some people seems to be more able to roll with the life's punches, while other tends to crumble in the face of small obstacles or frustrations. Some people even thrive on the excitement of the higher stress life cycle. And these factors can very easily be tolerance into the level of indicators, and these indicators are your support network. It means your friends, your family members, your buffers against stress, overwhelming. On the other side, the lonelier and more isolated you are, the greater your risk of succumbing to the stress. Number one. Number two, we talk of your sense of control. How you control yourself. And you see, the more you are as a person, the less you need to prove yourself to others. It means if I'm very good to myself, if I'm controlling my own sense of rehabilitation, sense of belongingness, sense of achievements, then I can very easily understand that you are at the mercy of environment and circumstances. And remember, stress is more likely to knock you off courses. The third thing which you talk is about your attitude and outlook. It means, are you optimistic? Are you a procrastinator? Are you a person who is looking to the mind of other? I remember a short lines of H.W. Longfellow, who wrote in a very beautiful lines, and he says, "The heights by great men reaches and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the right." It means you need to understand your attitude and your outlook within yourself that create an ability of optimistic, that creates an ability of acceptance, that creates an ability of beyond a level of resistance to change. Then we talk of your ability to deal with the emotions. It's very important. There is one book You can write it, the message of master with of John McDonald. And very nicely he says that when you control your emotions, half of your result you've achieved of what you're supposed to do. You need to understand, you need to evaluate, you need to dig yourself, because your knowledge and preparations have an attitude of easiness. Your knowledge and preparation of emotions need to understand. I'll give you an example here. If you go into surgery with a realistic picture of what to expect post-operation, a painful recovery will be less stressful than if you were expecting to bounce back immediately. It means your emotions, your knowledge, and your preparations, it is having a triangular series of understanding that create a sense of achievement to bypass all those things. Then come the next one. How we understand what are the different memes or ideas that we look on into the types of stress. The very first stress talks about the acute stress. And acute stress is more as understanding to the pressure of near miss automobile accident, or an argument with a family member, or costly mistake at work sink in your body turns on this biological response sense. Number two, we say episodic stress, acute stress. And this episodic acute stress talks more on the short-tempered or irritable anxiousness. People who are worrywarts are pessimists, or who tends to see the negative side of everything, also tends to have episodic acute stress. Number three, we'd say, which reflects to our meme, is chronic stress. And chronic stress is more in terms of our memeological concept: poverty, dysfunctionality of the family, unhappy marriage, a bad job. This stress is constant and does not go away. It can stem from such things, which I've given example. When you say the chronic stress, it gives certain invitations: heart disease, cancer, lung disease, accidents, cirrhosis, suicide, whatever you talk of, because this chronic disease is something which we really fight on. Very recently, you can take example of Shashank Singh Rajput. Question comes that how we try to navigate and understand the different ideas, different memes of the college-going students. And these ideas, these memes, reflects to the time stress, reflects to the anticipatory stress, reflects to the situational stress, and reflects to the encounter stress. Now see, what happened, I would give example here, especially for the students. There is a concept called placebo effect, Placebo, placebo effect. And placebo effects talks about of a boomerang capacity. It means, like for example, a person needs protein, or a person needs vitamins, and he is resisting to take an egg. So on that particular time, doctor says, hello, my lad, you need to have eggs to strengthen your body's capacity. Then he reacts, says, no, doctor, I don't take eggs. The doctor says, okay, then you don't take eggs. Then he tells something in a whistling mode to the nurse. And nurse nodded her head. And from the same day, that same person who was lying on the bed, he's been given a glass of milk with something put in that milk. And he says, drink it, my lad. This is going to give something efficient and effective to your body. The child says, are you sure that something is not there? Because whatever I resist, it should not be there. I say, yes, you don't worry. I came to know that you don't take eggs. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and almost 15 to 20 days, the chap was given the milk with a glass of water. And ultimately, one fine day, that nurse comes, have a glass of milk, one egg. She clutches the egg and put it in the milk, and immediately the boy vomits. Sister, what are you doing this? Why are you putting egg to my milk? The nurse says, no, my lad. For the last 1 month, you are having the same thing. And you can now see your body resistance. That is the placebo effect. So when you talk of the time stress, when you talk of the anticipatory stress, you need to understand these all happenings as a matter of fact, because it occurs when you feel worried about time. It is more specifically when you do not enough time to accomplish all necessary tasks. People often experience in terms of what? In terms of those things which they really need, or those things they really fear to understand the deadlines, or will be late to a meeting or appointment, or whatever examples they talks of. As a student, you may feel time stress in several ways. You may worry about your timetable. You may worry about going to the late classes. You may worry about geography. Learn the geography of your campus. You may worry about going home late. You may worry about not knowing computers. You may worry about attending a lecture very late, or whatever it is. But you may also panic about the heft of your workload, or the quality of your workload for your class, which has given a tremendous adjustment towards your attending classes, or towards your move of going to first time or returning back to a break after the time stress. Anticipatory stress talks about जिसके पास जनता है uski dunya sunta hai. It means I am more concerned about my feeling. I'm more concerned about my forthcoming test. I'm more concerned about my assignment. I'm more concerned about my presentation. I'm more concerned about my experiences. I'm more concerned about concrete anticipatory stress. It means students may feel to understand the frequency or the graduations of needs that their life of college is worth of understanding to move on and to give a reflection to the placebo effect which I have discussed now. Situational stress, as the word says, situational stress talks of the hand that gives is the hand that gathers. It means you need to give more of your understanding. You need to understand your experience situational stress. With some words which I can incorporate. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, there was some problem, network issue, and I'm very, very sorry for this. Yes. So, what I was talking about, the taking break from the COVID-19, and you see, when you say you are taking a break, it's what you're reflecting to, what you're sensing to, and these sensings talks about making time to understand. And when we say making time to understand means to sleep and exercise. The fourth is reach out, stay connected, go for movies. I could easily suggest you one, especially a very close to my heart is a movie called Via Nazi Camp. This is an Italian movie where a father and a son. Yes, sure. See, I have come out. I'm outside. Also, presentation is I cannot hold up the presentation right now because it's my laptop. Yeah. So I'm just trying to chase the network problem here. It is. So I would suggest one of the very close movie which I have seen during my days is of Via Nazi Camp. It's a movie about an Italian movie which talks about a relationship between a father and a son. How these things went out, how the things moves on, and how the things get connected. And at the last, the father see and reflects to his understanding of a son, and son too also qualifies his experiences and love of his father. And last but not least is a seek help. You can give a call to your own people stating this. You can call me, and where these things has happened, I could very easily conclude with this that the case of Sushant Rajput. Just today morning only, I saw one of my scholar. She was requesting someone that anyone can call me to come up and navigate their ideas. I'm here to help you out of this. Even I'm not going to help you out of this. I'm going to listen to your problem. Now, this is something which really jumps to my heart, stating that yes, we can do this. At least what we can hear people of, we cannot even give help to them. At least we can hear, let their words should come out of their mind so that they can feel that, yes, someone is very friendly to me. Well, there are some other conclusions that can be looked upon to give reflections, and these reflections talks more on the settings. I would like to give you certain examples. Doctors may give more examples, as you can look upon people with disabilities due to a focus on treating underlying health conditions compared to people without disabilities. In Japan, there are a group of people are being kept only because to talk with those disability people, or those who cannot help their own people to navigate. Now, this is one thing which we can look upon. Then, to every country, is dealing with the stress nowadays, especially when you look onto coronavirus. Let us see some examples. Where there in Germany, there's a region called Heinsberg, which is just nearer to the northern Rhine-Westphalia. I had been spent to this area for almost 3.5 months. And I could take the example, leading many newspapers to label it with the German Wuhan, what we use the word. Heinsberg City's hospital senior physician and intensive care specialist, Eiko Leidman, and his team have been working tirelessly to stem the tide of the virus for the last February. And this Leidman tells that one thing which is very common in this pandemic is, but I have a highly motivated team. This is one thing that makes this tough time enjoyable. It means I'm not worried about what things is looking on. I'm much worried about what the things which I'm looking on to is behind the screen. The pandemic is creating a massive amount of stresses and continuing working its ways to the focus and normal therapies and sessions. Berlin-based psychologist and psychotherapist Pistils, who is a lady, she says that the coronavirus is an uncontrollable plague and no one knows how to will evolve if oneself or stressing the herd and pushing people to their limits. We are social beings by nature, but personal proximity, I'll repeat, personal proximity is currently forbidden. She says text message and WhatsApp can be little to elevate the problem. The second example that can be quoted is during this hard time, the Indian Medical Association, IMA, who have come forward by empathetic to those who got affected in and for free. Those with the disease have not done anything wrong. Don't refer to people with the disease as COVID-19 cases. Or on the quote, I say victims. COVID-19 families or the deceased, avoid watching, reading, and listening to news that cause you to feel anxious or distressed. It means I need to seek information mainly to take practical steps to prepare your plans and protect yourself and loved ones. Protect yourself and be supportive to others. Assisting others in this time of need can benefit the person receiving supports as well as the helps. How we cope with the stress. I do remember a father of modern psychology, William Jones, who quotes, I'll repeat, we do not laugh because we are happy. We are happy because we laugh. How beautifully the things have been quoted in just 12 words. And William Jones takes this pride to make this sense of appraisedness, to make this sense of appulseness, to make this sense of situations to worsen. Take break from watching, reading, or listening to news stories, including social media. Take care of your body, which I normally hint and indicate. Take deep breath, stretch, and meditate external of your icon. Try to eat healthy and well-balanced food. Exercise regularly, get plenty of sleep. Avoid alcohol and drug, which is totally prohibited during these days. Make time to unwind. Try to do some other activities you really enjoy. Connect with others. Talk to the people. Talk with your mother, talk with your father, talk with your friends to whom you have said goodbye. You're not talking for the last 10 days, 15 days, almost 1 year. The best way of remedial is stop procrastination. I remember a very short story of Osho. One day, a patient wakes up and sees he wants to go to the bath and sees that his chappal is not there. His sleeper is not there. He got annoyed. He got frustrated. He shouted on the nurse, "Where the hell my chappal is? Where the hell?" Because the day has started with the fighting. And whatever he was doing, it was on the distress move. On the bed because of some other reason. And he met with an accident, fell down on the ground, broken his and got sleeper on the right position. Stop procrastinating. Number 2, I have a recommendation of water therapy. Go ahead with more water. As much as water you can put inside your body. There is a word from Lewis and Webster who says drinking a lot of water is something like treating yourself from the disease. And this is a logical reason Lewis and Webster has taken into scientific way, into scientific reasons. Then we say, do something which you really love. Spend time with your family. A general thumb of rule is to moderate your workload and avoid taking too much. Last but not least, I have a very beautiful book which is very close to my heart and which cost only 146 rupees if you can order from Amazon. Please go through it. And the book name is Tuesday with Morris. The author is Mitch Albom. And Mitch Albom talks about, this story talks about an old man and a young man and life. The book is about a man who is successful man after his life rediscovered his old professor Morris in the final month of his older days. He went to his home, and every Tuesday he visited to his home. And he gets a learning that his professors were dying, and he gave a lesson of another lesson about a life. And that lesson says, once you learn how to die, you learn how to live in the conclusion. And that is what is the main, that is what is the fractionality, that is what is the need, that is what is the demand, and that is what is the present situation that really occurs to us. I don't say something wrong is going on. I'm into a firm believer of the positivity, and I say if something has been given to wrong side, look to the other side of the code. Something more is going to come with a very positive side. And that is what I can very well say, and that is what I can very well conclude with a statement that these memes can only extend your mind, and this mind can only extend your minding mapping, and this minding mapping can only extend to your placebo effect, or I say MEG,
most effort goal. So, dear students, no need to get worried about placement, no need to get worried about your sheets, no need to get worried about your upraising of stress. What you need to worry about, taking care of yourself, because you need to stay for today's, not need to stay for tomorrow, because this is what the time demand. Earlier, when the post-COVID or pre-COVID was not there, then at the time when you're thinking about the futuristic ahead, it was something which you were doing good. But today, what is more to be understood is to live for today, not for tomorrow. Because I can understand, if you are very fair enough to your meme, if you are very fair enough to your family, if you are very fair enough to your syllabi, if you are very fair enough to your teachers, I'm 100% sure that no one is going to lose anything, because this is nothing new is happening in this present world. And it will happen. But what is more important is to really understand the stay. What is more important is to understand the venture. What is really more important is to understand the meaning of what we really adhere, the meaning of what we have innovations, the meaning of what we extend, the meaning of love, and above all, minding your minds with the meme. Thank you very much for a very patient hearing. And I do open for, because I've taken 10 minutes time more because of certain problems of technical issues. So thank you for the organizers, those who have given this platform. And questions, I do welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It would be great if there will be any question, any query from the listeners. VK sir, can we take questions?
Sure.
So is there anyone who want to just ask about this minding our minds with meme? Okay, I think you have answered everyone's question, the questions in their mind, the questions in their heart. Sir, we are really very thankful to you, sir. And from where I just start, it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. It was a wonderful session, sir. We are really very thankful to you. You picked each and every point. You raised each and every issue of today's time. What is going out there in the world right now? What actually is the impact of this COVID-19 on the present mind situation, either for the student or for the research scholar, everyone. So this was really a very wonderful session, very informative session, sir. We are really very thankful to you, especially Professor Dr. VK Singh, sir, from Gurukul Kangdi University. We are very thankful to the management of Shri Sai Group of Institutes, our chairman, sir, Chairman Engineer S.K. Pun, sir, with the MD ma'am, CMD, sir, Director General, sir, of course, Dr. Vipin Gupta, sir. And yes, last but not the least, I want to share 2-3 things, important things with you all, and even with Dr. VK, sir, also.
Can I interrupt you one thing, Sulaksh?
Sir.
I could see on the chat box there is one query. He is asking about. Please repeat the book name.
Yes.
I was coming to office. Yes. The name of the book is The Message of the Master by John MacDonald. I repeat, The Message of the Master by John MacDonald. And right. Another book is Tuesday with the Morris by Mitch Albom. ALBOM, MITCH, Mitch Albom. Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yes, I was coming to that point also, sir. I was taking the messages from the chat box. So it was really a very informative message. Yes, the question was asked by our CMD, sir, Engineer Convert Tushar Punj. He asked about the book. And I'm really very thankful to Dr. Paliwal from GKV. He connected with us. And the most amazing thing of today's session is there was 415 registrations counted over the down, sir. There were 415 registrations for this session. The live session was streaming on YouTube channel of SSDI also. So the people from Mr. Lokesh, there is Mr. Lokesh from London. He connected with us right now. Mr. Akshay Kohli, he connected from New Zealand with this session. So thanks to all, thanks to students and staff of SSDI and everyone who connected with us today through this live webinar series being organized by Shri Sai Group of Institutes. And I really take this pleasure once again to thank the management guru of Management Line, Dr. V.K. Singh, for giving us his precious time for sharing such a great information with us. Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you, one and all. Thanks to you.
Sir,
Sir.
I could see one question. Yes, I could see one question from Dr. Tripta Sharma.
Sir.
Just now I saw it. I'm sorry. I will justify if I'll not tell her. The question is, sir, how we can cope with the stress when workload is high and we have to do without any appreciation. Tripta, there are 5 things which you really understand. One is auto-suggestion. Second is reaffirmation. Third is visualization. Fourth is act. And fifth is become. So you are in the position of fourth one, act. The problem with first 3 is auto-suggestion, reaffirmation, and visualization is not seen. Okay. So my advice to you is that please forget about your appreciation. Do your job, because there is a marketing warfare, and marketing warfare talks about conviction, courage, and time. And if you can recollect to the timings focus to the mission, vision, and clearance. So I must say one thing, and the thing is, you act and try to become. Don't forget about auto-suggestions, reaffirmations, and visualizations. So this is what is my takeaway for you. Thank you, Tripti.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Suresh, there is one problem with your this. I could see lot many people were calling me. Your participant list was static to 81.
Yes, sir.
Lot many people were calling that, and there was some problem with the people getting into it. So thank you very much, and thank you the organizations once again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.